What's up, Fire family? It's Kiahonfire, and welcome back to Conan Exiles. We are on the first revision for the testlive patch, the 29th of the 5th, 2020. So this patch is about balancing and avatars. As I was saying in my previous update video, I was expecting another revision, and here it comes. So here we go. Here's some more updates on what has been changed, what has been added, and anything about all the nitty-gritty bits we'll be going into today. So we'll start off actually looking at the normal patch notes. There's been a lot of optimizations added in this patch, crashing issues fixed, etc. They've removed de novo from the game, and they fixed some alignment issues and collision issues with the Argos and the inverted ceilings and beds. And then we get to the AI and thrall fixes, which is what I'm kind of most interested in at the moment. Also the avatar, but we start with the AI. Fixed an issue where thralls would not damage other thralls with range attacks. So this is burn arrow range attack kind of thing. It could be throwing axes as well. Then the next one is fixed an issue where players could get stuck inside the Rhino's mesh. Now I am going to try this one out to see how well they fixed it, because this one has been a very annoying problem for a very long time, and as you guys know, it really frustrates me, this bug. So we'll have a look at if they fixed that or not, how it works nowadays, etc. So you can kind of get an idea of what to expect when it comes into official. I'm very glad to see this on the patch though, because Rhinos are hella annoying to kill when you just want a melee combat. Like, they've been saying a lot of stuff about making the player the hero at the moment, but sometimes with some of the AI in this game, it can make it very hard to actually try and be the hero, if you get what I mean. Like, you may want to be the hero, but the game and the AI is not going to let you, because it's just going to keep beating you down, or stop you attacking, or get you stuck inside something, to make it to a point where you cannot be the hero, etc. So, we'll have a look at this Rhino. That seems to be... oh, he's mad at the scorpion. Let's see if we can get him after us now. Let's annoy this Rhino. So, here's the Rhino. I'll start attacking it. I used to get, like, properly stuck in the head, not be able to move. We could move on that one. Let's try something a little bit bigger. Rhino Boss has always been very, very buggy. So let me just get rid of its friends. Excuse me. Are you going to be a problem? Are you going to be a problem? Yep, okay, okay. That's not fixed completely. So that is apparently not a thing with the Rhino Boss. I can't get out of him, I'm completely stuck. So we can still get stuck in the Rhino's mesh. So perhaps they fixed normal Rhinos, but not Mr. Rhino Boss. So let me have a look on this normal Rhino again, without killing it. So we go to the normal Rhino. I went right through it. I am in God, so... but I should still be able to get stuck like I did with the normal Rhino. So I'll just let them keep attacking me, see if I can get myself wedged in. I seem to be going... I seem to be going on top... oh wow, okay. No. Okay, so apparently we can surfboard on the Rhino. Yeah, okay, there's something different with the normal Rhino. They haven't implemented it on the boss Rhino yet, but I can see there's difference here, because I'm not getting stuck in the head. There's clearly I'm clearly getting pushed around. As you can see, I'm getting... yeah. Oh no, it's still got us stuck. No, I thought they had completely fixed it then for a second. But no, we can still get stuck in the Rhino, so... that is not fixed completely. There's still some things to work out there, evidently. So then we can move on to our next fix there. Reduce the HP for world bosses, dungeon bosses, and group content bosses by an average of 35 to 40%. This brings the TTK of PvE content to similar values previous to the last patch. I am actually really glad to hear about this kind of news here, because I've been waiting since the other patch. I've been wondering what they were going to do with it. So it might pretty much feel the same in PvE as it did last time. You're just going to have some different statistics now on your thralls, etc. But for PvP, because they've reduced the HP and damage, I guess that's what it's going to affect mostly. But now they've reduced the world boss's HP a bit. Hopefully that will bring it back to a normalised state for PvE content, where I was worried about the world bosses being a pain in the ass for the new revised full damage and HP, but seeming they've kind of added this, it's kind of like it's equalised it back out again, and it will probably take as long as it normally would. So in my last video, to kill the brute boss, it took 1 minute and 7 seconds with the same exact setup on this Delincia. That can fluctuate between 120 to 1 minute 3, I would say, when you're doing a kill, depending on the staggering, etc. We picked the brute boss because it's one of the ones that does the least stagger compared to a lot of other bosses, so it will get us the quickest results. We have the same rough setup as we did in the last video. I'm going to take that feast out now that she's got full HP, she's a level 20, etc. So we got the exact setup as last time. I'm going to spawn in the boss, I'm going to time it for you and see what we're at now. If it's going to be exactly the same, or if we're going to experience the same difference as we did in the last video. So this is going to definitely affect PvE purposes, and I'm hoping it's going to be a lot quicker now like it used to be, instead of taking all that time in the last video. So we're going to attack this guy. Let me see if I can get a reading on his HP. Yeah, that's a lot different already, his HP, so that is a good start right there. His HP used to be above 20-ish K, I believe it was 22s maybe, I could double check on the video in a minute. But that was roughly his HP last time, so they've nerfed that quite a bit, actually, to be back on level with how they've nerfed the thralls. So now, hopefully, the only difference you really should notice is when you're coming along with full combat, that things like PvP with full combat should be very different because they've nerfed it. However, when you do the combat with the PvE content such as world bosses, it should be exactly the same as it was before the testlive changes. So this is looking to be exactly the same as it is in the current version you should be playing right now. So it's coming up to about 1 minute here, and she's pretty much very nearly killed it. So that's a lot better than the timings we were experiencing in the first update for testlive we saw the other day. That was about 6 days ago they released that. So that is very, very good news actually. So people who do solo PvE content, things will be back to normal for you, at least, you know. But if you're PvP, then it's a little bit different. But there we go, she's killed it. It took her about 125. So that's a little bit above my expectations. However, that's still very, very good, and I'm actually happy with that result. So now for PvE, it should be a lot nicer for you guys because it's going to be the same, and we're not going to have that increase of double differences on the world bosses. So that is a good change that they've made. If they're going to keep the full nerf, then at least you're not really going to notice it when it comes to the PvE content and world bosses. So now we go on to the avatar fixes. As I thought last time, I didn't really mention avatars in my last video because I was thinking they've kept it out of the game for about a year, and there isn't really enough content in here to justify that. I was thinking there at least has to be something a little bit more than what I'm seeing right here to keep it out of the game so long. And I'm still a little bit like, why they kept it out of the game so long, and thinking to myself, these are very, very small fixes and adjustments, and I'm wondering if there's something perhaps bigger behind the scenes. And I'm still waiting on a little bit more perhaps, and wondering why it was kept out so long. But for now, I will just read you out what we have here and what has been changed. So players are now vulnerable to projectiles while summoning an avatar. So I'm going to test that in a minute, but that's very interesting. So that means you're no longer immune to things. It means if you want to summon an avatar, perhaps now you need to do it in a safer location, such as you build a base around you, summon it outside or something. So that's a bit different there. We'll check on that in a minute. And then we have avatar summoning time has been increased to 60 seconds from 20 seconds. So it's going to take you 60 seconds, like a full minute, to actually spawn in the avatar instead of the usual 20. And then now they have avatars of the same kind, can't be summoned at the same time by different players. So that means you can't have like 2 Yogg avatars at the same time. So you know, it can't be summoned twice. So there you go. And then they have a reduced health regeneration for critters returning to their original spot after having reached their maximum leashing distance. So again, that kind of corresponds with the video I was doing the other day on the silken wraps. I'm hoping that's now affected that boss, because the regeneration on that boss when he returns to his spot is pretty ridiculous, and you did see that in play if you did watch that video. If you did not, I do recommend checking it out, because we did do some demonstrations in there about the leashing and tethering, etc., with how it does its healing and stuff. But pretty much, there you go. And then the last fix is the UI and text fixes. Fix more instances where nameplates wouldn't be visible to the player. So since I don't have anybody to test it with me right now, the best way I can test this actual change is to go and give my good friends in New Asgard a visit. There we go, I got myself another sigil. There is a wolf killing my friend at the moment, which is very good. So we'll summon it now. Hopefully he'll still hit me. Yeah, he's still damaging me. Okay, so I'm summoning. And he still could damage me while I'm summoning. So that's the difference now. While you're in this state, and it's going to be 60 seconds long, then you're going to have a 60-second vulnerability period. But as soon as you're in this formation, after that intro right there, so you can see he's still hurting me for now. And now he shouldn't be able to hurt me. I can still see him shooting at me in the corner right there. I should now be able to be very immune to everything now that I've fully spawned in set. So apart from that, once the boss is spawned, we're completely fine. So you have to think about when you're summoning now, you have to be very careful where you spawn yourself in. So if you're doing an avatar and you summon yourself, you need to be standing somewhere where the enemy is not going to see you. Otherwise it's going to be a problem. I know some of you probably haven't even experienced the bosses or anything like this, but these are really cool features of the game that I hope you'll enjoy when they come back in. So yeah, I did get damaged there. I have re-healed past that though, so okay, that's the difference with that there. Again, I still expect some more changes with the gods at the moment. It feels a little bit lackluster, like we're missing something. Perhaps they have something to introduce more than what we're seeing. But for now, there's some really minor changes here, so timings, immunity, etc. I don't quite know what's going on with it, but we'll wait and see. I'm going to hold my opinion on it for a little while until I see what they have to give us on it. But for now, that is what we have with the gods. So if you were used to the gods before, now you're going to notice that they're a little bit different with some of the timings. As I mentioned in the previous update video, you should be able to have them more frequently, and now of course you're not immune while you're doing the summoning process from projectiles. So there you go. So hopefully this sums up the video really nicely for you. Thank you for watching, and make sure from the last patch you will, if you didn't watch that, you will need to check that out because it had some really important information on there. The only difference now is the timing with the bosses is different because it's now the same as it used to be. So thank you for watching, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!